If we go over to Israel, we can start talking about Benjamin Netanyahu and what he's about to do tomorrow when he lands and talks to Donald Trump in the White House. Let's see, he had a couple of interviews with Fox News today, and he talks about the Islamic Republic, and he talks about even what he's going to do when he comes to America to talk to Donald Trump.
I think it will. What will it take? It will take for Iran to understand, either for this regime to fall, or for Iran to realize that the cost of wreaking economic chaos to the world, murdering its thousands of its own citizens, and shooting at everyone. I mean, literally at everyone. At Saudi Arabia, at Bahrain, at Qatar, at Kuwait, at the UAE, at Israel, at Jordan, every single one. I mean, this is what this regime is doing when they don't have nuclear weapons. So imagine what they would do if they had nuclear weapons. I think when this regime is either toppled or it's sufficiently weakened that it knows it has to end its nuclear program and has to change its course. That's really what President Trump is trying to achieve. And I back his fully his efforts to do so. If he can do so without returning to intense military fighting, that's fine. Why not? But one way or the other, they have to end their nuclear program. And with
or without a deal, this has to come to an end. So that was his first clip there. What do you think about that while I pull up the second one? Oh, you're muted.
Okay, so can you be more specific with the question?
Right. So he's saying we don't have to go back to intense military fighting if the regime is sufficiently crippled. Some little signals there that pretty much he's fully on board with Donald Trump. Now, keep in mind, guys, he's visiting Donald Trump tomorrow, so it's not like he's going to come out on Fox News and say anything against him. Of course, he's going to say, I'm fully on board with what Trump wants. But we all know every country has their own objectives. Can you tell us how the U.S. and Israel's objective is a little bit different here?
So I think that Prime Minister Netanyahu is trying to suggest that there's more alignment, but I think Israel is not going to be satisfied with anything other than full regime change, right? So when he adds that either full regime change or until they're sufficiently weakened, is because he understands that if they're sufficiently weakened, it will lead to regime change anyways, right? I mean, I think Prime Minister Netanyahu wants to kind of show that they're willing to, to the American, I think the audience for this is the American public, right? Like, we are as flexible as the Americans. Like, we're not gonna we're also okay with the option A or option B. Like, we're flexible here. But I think the reason why he's communicating that is because as long as we're hitting the Islamic Republic, we're hitting the Islamic Republic. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be, because if you would rather have something happening against the Islamic Republic than not. So you can't be picky and basically want to 100% communicate with everybody that you do not accept anything other than regime change, right? So, for example, let's say, I need Ali's help to, I don't know, move. I need a lot of help for him. Like, I need him to come and help me with a lot of stuff. But Ali says, like, listen, I only have, 20 minutes tops to be able to help you, right? I really want him to help me a lot more, but I'm going to say, like, sure, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you have. Just hoping that once we get there, maybe we could do more, right? But as like I'm not going to say, like, no, only 2 hours. While he's there, I'm just going to play with the 20 and 30 minutes, and once he's there, I'm hoping that once he's there, he's not going to notice how much time. You know what I mean? Like, when you're talking, you have to show that you're flexible, and then once you're in it, you could gain more.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, if you're hitting the Islamic Republic, you're hitting the Islamic Republic. But I don't think Israel will be satisfied with anything other than full regime change, and I don't think they will stop until we have full regime change. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because they're much closer. I mean, they're much closer, and they pose as a direct threat to them much more than mainland America.
Because for them, the Islamic Republic is not. It's not about like, oh, we need to. It's an existential crisis. It's not about like a principle. It's not about sending a
Exactly.
message. It's not just about that. It's about survival. So,
Exactly.
Israel cannot allow the Islamic Republic to survive. It's just irresponsible to every Israeli citizen if you want anything short of full regime change.
Correct. Let's take a listen to what he has to say in this clip.
You're getting set to travel to the U.S. to meet with President Trump and then attend the funeral services of Senator Lindsey Graham. Prime Minister, what can you tell us about any fresh?
By the way, guys, she just said also visit or attend the funeral of Senator Lindsey Graham. I can never say that. By the way, we still don't have the toxicology reports from Senator Lindsey Graham's death. It's being withheld. I'm just going to say that and leave you guys with that piece of information.
What are
But
you
I still
suggesting?
do not have. I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just saying they're still not out. The toxicology reports are still not out. Usually they're done within 24 hours.
New intelligence that you may have about that nuclear program that you are about to present President Trump with?
Well, first, let me say that Lindsey Graham is a terrible loss. He was such a great friend, such a champion of America and a patriot, and such a champion of the Israeli-American alliance. He believed in the benefits that Israel gives to the United States in terms of intel, weapons technology. And of course, we appreciated very much all the help that we got from the United States. So he was an extraordinary American patriot, and we miss him greatly. As far as the nuclear program, we constantly exchange information. Our intel services and yours are working so close together that it's not that I'm going to present new information, but I think it's a good thing to have the opportunity to sit with our good friend, President Trump, and to hear what he has in mind, because I think in many ways it's his decision. But let me say one thing.
It's his decision. So he's not going to present any new information. He just wants to see what Donald Trump is thinking and feeling. So again, guys, Benjamin Netanyahu today convened a security meeting, the location of which was completely confidential and secure. Who attended is completely also unknown. It was held at the highest level of government in Israel, complete secrecy. And tomorrow, Benjamin Netanyahu will come to the United States. Could it be a ploy? Could it be getting some updated information? We usually do see right before February 28th, the war or anything significant. Donald Trump is a very big proponent of liking to talk to his allies face to face to give them information. So we'll take a look at that tomorrow.
Yeah, I think
we'll have press statements from them on Tuesday.
Yeah, I think Prime Minister Netanyahu, when they meet, is not about intelligence sharing. I mean, sometimes Prime Minister Netanyahu shared intelligence with President Trump, not because, I mean, their intelligence or agencies are already connected with each other, but sometimes it's a lot more meaningful when you talk about it to the president directly, or if you hand deliver it and you talk about it when you do it. And, I think like you get a lot when you meet face to face and try to understand in person where somebody is at, more than you can when you are far away. So I think that's the utility of meeting directly. But also remember one more time, everybody, this could also be a misdirection so that the Islamic Republic doesn't. It could be that they're planning an attack and they're trying to get the Islamic Republic to get its guards down.
Yeah.
It could be that.
My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.